Okay. And I think a lot of that just is your ability to be so self-aware. That I don't think a lot of people have that ability. And I think that helps you manage life
Yes.
when, things are out of our control, but we can always control this, right? That we can
Yes.
control us, how we react and how we see the world, we can control that.
Yeah.
And that is part of being aware. So, okay. So, well, let me ask you, so in the aftermath, and you are trying to pick up the pieces, and I know you are very well aware of just physical being healthy. And I hate the word healthy, but I got it. It's the only one I can find.
Yeah.
Because it means a lot of things, but just overall well-being. Was there a time or a point where your coping mechanism wasn't that quote healthy, meaning sleeping all day or, whatever you would normally do for well-being, where you were like, I don't even have time for this right now. I can't do it.
Yeah. Yes. If I be quite honest with you, I think what was unhealthy for me was I tried to get back to life too soon.
Oh.
So it's no baby. We can't even, if we walking around looking, heavy and we don't have no baby, we got to get to the gym.
Oh, good point.
So I was the opposite of not wanting to do anything, where I was like, oh, it's no baby here. I gotta get back. You know what I mean? Like I took on a job prematurely, a contract prematurely, just trying to get back. Just started hitting the gym, like hard, because I'm like, I got to get this extra weight off.
Right.
It wouldn't have been an issue if I had a baby, because I got hey,
right.
We carrying around some extra weight because we carrying the little one,
right.
I mean? But now, it's like, this isn't my life. So now I need to get back to what my life was before. And what I had to slow down and realize is that, Eboni, whether you have a baby or not, your life is not the same.
Oh, yeah.
And that was a very hard reality for me.
That's a good point. Because either way, when you don't allow yourself to go through the emotions and try to just get back to your normal too fast, it's still self-sabotage. Same as if you were to do the opposite and, isolate and not talk to anyone and kind of go down the black hole. There's kind of that scale, far left or far right.
Right.
And so how did you find that middle? What was the thing? What was the point where you say, okay, this is not working? Like, I need to deal with this right now.
So, where the middle was I had to go through that process, and then just in the middle of it, just stop. You know what I mean? Like, Eboni, you can't get back to work and be aggressive with working out and your commitments at church and dealing with your husband. You can't do all of this at one time. So I can give you an example with work. Let's use that for example, because this can help the viewers as well. I was very fortunate to where I had an employer that was willing to work with me. And I was working 4 days a week. And when I came, I took about 6 weeks off. Okay. And then I went back to work. And to be honest with you, if some other things were in place, I probably wouldn't have went back to work until the beginning of the year. That would have been the best thing.
Okay.
Just to get through. But being at work allowed me to just kind of get back into the groove of things. Okay. I don't think I was the best provider when I initially went back. I didn't have a lot of patience. I didn't have a lot of empathy, sympathy, any empathy. I didn't have, you know what I mean? So I do think that I needed more time out of work. Okay. When I did go back to work, I was only working 3 days a week, and I currently still just work 3 days a week. So I think that if it's a possibility to, if you go back to work, ease back into work. Don't go full load or anything like that. I served at my church twice a month, and I didn't serve for a while. My leader was like, hey, take as much time as you need. And then once I was ready, instead of doing my regular schedule, I only do one service a month. So it's just kind of like pacing yourself back into the life that you were living before. Even like attending church, it's like, okay, Eboni, you're going to do one Sunday online. That's it.
Yeah.
I created a Sabbath day, like a day of rest. Every Friday is my rest day, where I do nothing.
Good.
If I want to sleep all day, I always try to get a exercise in, because that's just what I like to do.
Okay, talk about it. Talk about it.
Yeah. I do like to do that, but it was just like I took time. Once the emotions settled, I took time to evaluate what my life looked like before and what it needs to look like now.
Yeah.
And I just went from there. So I just started cutting things out.
Yeah.
I started cutting back on things and cutting things out. And as far as exercising, that never really fell off while I was pregnant, while I was going through grief. And at this point, I wanted to give, I was planning to have a home birth. And so I needed to keep my weight and keep everything pretty tight in order for me to be able to deliver at home. So I was already, I was doing my walks. I was doing my pregnancy yoga. I was spending time in the pool. I was doing all the things.
Okay.
And then, like I said, it was unhealthy at this time. But once I was going through the grief, I got my body shaper on, I'm heading to the gym. It wasn't a healthy perspective, but I was still going.
Yeah.
And then now, I'm working out anywhere. I'm doing at least 3 to 5 days a week.
Yeah.
And it's just because that's just what I enjoy.
Right.
And, just working on my after pregnancy, weight.
Yeah.
But being gracious with myself,
Oh, took the words right out my mouth. I was just about to say, giving yourself some grace. So,
yeah. Okay. Yeah, because he was supposed to be due in January. And so I'm giving myself till January to see something be different. That's something that I would like to be different.
Yeah, that's a really good way to look at that. I mean, you kind of took me right to the next section. I was really talking, about self-care and what that looks like in that process. And like you said, whether you have a baby or however that turns out, life is never going to be the same.
No.
You've had a life-changing experience.
Yeah.
And so that normal is probably a new normal now.
Yeah.
And how you look at the world is probably very different now.
Very different. Very different. Like you want to, you want to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Like that has been the number one thing. Like, go to bed, drink water, eat the foods that you need to eat. If you're fortunate enough, evaluate your work life and see how that can look different for you. Look at your finances. Like, what do you need financially? Can you get that if you choose to work part-time? What I mean? What are you willing to give up? And so I definitely feel like you have to evaluate your life and see, what do you want your life to look like now? And so that's been a little struggle because I'm always used to going at like 100.
Yeah.
But it had to be done.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't that way, unfortunately, it was going to be another way.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a really good point. I think self-care comes in so many different forms.
Yeah.
But the main thing is, after trauma, when we're experiencing grief, making sure that what we do and how we handle our body is not self-sabotage, but more self-promoting, whatever that looks like. And I think you also made a really good point with the fitness and the working out. A lot of times that is looked at as, I'm working out because I need to move the scale. That's the only reason why I'm going to the gym. But what I hear you say is, I go to the gym because it makes me feel good. This is who I am. This is who I identify with.
Yeah.
And that's because you built a habit of seeking solace at the gym or wherever you do fitness. And that's really important. We know that physical fitness and being active helps with mental clarity. We know that. We just don't do it enough.
You saying that point, something else that I incorporated since the grief was getting outside every day. So on my lunch break, I go for about a 15-minute walk. It's a little park down the street and I walk around the court. Sometimes I'll take out my weight, sometimes I won't, but just to like be out in the sun. And initially when it started, I would just walk and I would just have tears flowing down my face. Now that's not the case. Now it's like every day when the weather is nice, it's like Ebony, and it would be days I wouldn't want to go. Days I wouldn't want to go, and it was like, you have to go. You have to get out in the sun. You got to spend some time outside. Like I was very intentional. With that.
Yeah, and that's important because again, when that voice gets in your head that you don't need to go outside. You just need to sit here and be sad or, whatever that emotion is, having the mental endurance, stamina to say, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to do this because me sitting here is not going to help me. It's like I tell my daughter all the time when she says things that just aren't nice. I look at her and I say, hurtful or helpful? And it's the same thing with our daily habits. There's always that person we want to be and how we want to identify. And so are our habits hurtful or are they helpful? You wanted to be a woman that, went through these emotions, dealt with these emotions and overcame. So our habits have to be geared towards that goal or that outcome. And I think that's really just with anything in life. We all know who we want to be and the type of person we want to be. Do your habits support that?
Yeah. And I definitely agree with that because that was my other thing too. If another little one was coming along, and it's not if like I don't believe that, it's when,
Right.
But I'm like, I don't want these emotions to affect them. They don't deserve that. They deserve a mom that's whole and on a road to recovery and healing. They don't deserve that. So I was also thinking for the future as well. And another point to my health, I started seeing a naturopath, a homeopath specialist as well.
Okay.
They specialize in fertility, not necessarily getting you pregnant, but just getting the body healthy.
Yeah.
And then once the body is healthy, if you decide you want to move forward with getting pregnant, then you can do so.
Okay.
And so I was started on some Chinese herbs, had to send him a picture of my tongue, had to give him, a lot of information about myself so that he could, create a treatment plan for me. And working with him has been really good for my husband and I. He's definitely removed a lot of inflammation from the body. My husband's dropped about 20 pounds. So,
oh, wow.
Just getting us, I think to grief, if you're intentional and you're self-aware, will allow you to be open to different types of care, different types of advice. And, when you have that circle, they will offer you what they believe can help you as well. Because in your grief, it's just not emotional, like what we're talking about.
Right.
Now. It's also your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health,
all of it,
every part of you. And so I do believe at this point that I have every aspect of me covered.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I think what's even more interesting, but we're both trained in conventional medicine. It has been beat into our heads that if there's something wrong with someone, here's a pill, here's big pharma, this is how we treat it. And so to kind of step outside of that realm, again, just as part of the healing process and for self-care, to really get a better understanding of yourself physically, I think speaks volumes because we are not trained in that, but yet we recognize the value in it. Conventional medicine can't fix everything. It can't.
And it definitely has its place. And I think you and I both
agree
with that.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's by chance that I currently work with a chiropractor. And
agree.
The benefits of chiropractic care give your body, you know what I mean? And so I was very intentional about getting more adjustments during that time, because my body had changed. It was making from for growing being. So, you know, I was dealing with lower back pain, my pelvis being off, and different things like that. So it helps physically, but it also helps with the mood as well.
Okay.
And chiropractic care also can help you be more effective with your exercising, because if you are if you're working on unstable, those moves, you know, and exercising can affect you as well and cause you to get an injury.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So, you know, if I'm leaving anything, you know, definitely go and see a chiropractor regularly, you know, because of how we're using the body. So I just was very fortunate to just really have a lot of tools.
Yeah.
And I just needed, in the grief, I needed to know just how to use them.
Yeah. And I think we all have those tools. Again, like you said, it's reaching into the toolbox and actually using them. You know, having that support system, whatever that looks like for you, and actually tapping into it. And then also being intuitive and mindful as to exactly what we're experiencing and how we react to it. I think is also really important. And I always say that, you know, I have a lot of clients that are emotional eaters, and it's because of strong emotions, trauma, something that they've been through. And we know food is a mood altering substance. And so when I say when you're having those strong emotions, and your first go-to is to grab a slice of chocolate cake or something, really sit and be in those emotions. Feel it, you know?
Yeah, I definitely agree. And that was something that I wanted to be very intentional about, because if you don't feel them now, you're going to feel them later.
That's right. Yeah, very true. Yep. And they'll show up when you least expect it, and then you still don't have those coping mechanisms. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm going to go ahead and stop here. We can definitely do a part 2 if we need to, because I still have some questions for you, but I know, I don't want to spend any more time. I know you got some stuff to do. So, you know, I think the main thing, and again, please add, you know, whatever else you feel is important. But I think one of the main themes of us talking was really that self-care and that intuitive awareness, and really finding healthy coping mechanisms for however long you need to tap into them.
However long. So if I could just recap, being self-aware that what you're going through is an issue. Do not allow people to say, well, it just takes time. It does take time, and that is true, but the time is not going to heal you. To be intentional about your healing.
Right.
And so with intentionality, with your healing, get into community, a safe community where they're going to listen to you. Because if I be quite honest, I know we're ending, my family just was not equipped for what I was going through, because that wasn't something that they have experienced. And so I had to seek out an avenue where it would be safe for me to just freely be in my emotions. Because they're like, you know, they probably could say, and I didn't have this, but they could say, well, I mean, it's been a month. Or you were just 20 weeks, or you know what I'm saying? They find all of these reasons as to why you should be further along, and it's just like, no. So find your people. Be self-aware of what you're going through. Find your people. Be willing to be vulnerable. Be willing to be transparent, but only in a space that's going to allow you to do that. Because what will happen if you don't find the right space is that you will be that way in an unsafe space, and then it will cause you to shut down.
when you finally make that decision. Yep.
Yep. And then you'll be mad at everybody.
Yes.
Mad at people that just don't have the tools to help you. They didn't necessarily do anything wrong. They just don't have the tools.
Yep.
So find the right people, get in groups, get in community, get that help. And then hopefully those people will lead you to other avenues that can help you as well.
Yeah, no, I love that. And that's such good advice, because sometimes our family are going through the same things, they're experiencing that loss with you. Yeah. And again, like you said, everyone is not equipped to comfort you when you open up or you're vulnerable. They're coming at you with at least you can get pregnant again, Oh, okay, but I'm still going through this. So thanks, I guess.
Yeah. Are you going to try? Are you going to try again? You know what I mean? And it's like, why? I got to get through this first before.
Or he's in a better place. Really? Because I thought the best place was with me. You mean well, I get it, but probably not going to come back to you for solace.
No. And I had to be, because of me being self-aware, I had to be understanding of them in a time of where I needed understanding.
And that's not fair.
Yeah.
That's not fair, So yeah, for those of you out there, if you have someone that is going through trauma or grief and you don't have the words to say, or you don't know what to say that. Right. Like, I don't even offer your advice. I don't even know what to say, but I am here for you.
And
leave it at that.
Yeah. And be okay with silence.
That's
be okay with sitting there and not saying anything.
Yep.
Just be okay.
Yeah. Because that says volumes in itself. I'm here. If you need me, I don't even know. I can't even imagine what you're going through, but I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So find your group of people, get outside every day, get some vitamin D, get out in that sun as much as possible, get out in that sun. Even if you can't do aggressive exercising and everything, that's fine. But if you can get outside and just walk and just enjoy nature, look at the clouds, look at how green the trees look, fortunately for you guys that are in Florida, if you can get to a beach, get to the beach.
Yeah.
Go on a nature walk. Just do something in nature every day.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my goodness. Well, that was so good. I thank you for taking some time to just share your experience. And I really think it'll help viewers and a lot of my followers that are dealing with traumas that they've literally never told anyone about. So it's time to heal. There is a time to heal, and that time can be now for anyone.
Yeah, for anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
Oh, this was therapeutic as well.
Good. I hope so. I hope so. I've always even in my trainings just learned that talking about and sharing can sometimes for some people be very cathartic. So I hope it has been for you.
Yeah. Thank you.